All right, y'all. What's good, man? It is currently, what time is it?
11:45.
11:45, and we just got through watching
Game of the year.
pretty much game of the decade. Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Like
Pretty close.
it was a crazy game. That's the Rams and the Chiefs. Originally, the game was scheduled to be in Mexico. Good thing it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was in LA in the Coliseum. It was crazy. 51-54, Rams won. Some stat lines, man. Mahomes 6 touchdowns. Goff had 5 total touchdowns.
Mahomes 487 yards. Goff was in the 300s.
In the 350-ish
yeah,
area.
350 range.
This is just like immediately after the game, so we're not 100% sure on all the facts. So get off our ass, but just initial thoughts, and I guess I'll go, man. Like my initial thoughts after the game. We did a mid-season award video, and I had Drew Brees win an MVP. Sorry, I don't have that anymore. He can win AP Player of the Year offense, but MVP, it's no doubt in my mind now.
It's Mahomes.
It's Mahomes. Dog, like, do you understand? He put up almost 500 yards. He threw for 6 touchdowns, and they lost.
And I know everybody that watched the game. He had 3 picks. He had
3 picks and 2 fumbles.
He had 2 plus 5 turnovers. Well, let's stop looking at the stat lines and let's look at the actual play.
Let's look at the game too.
One of those picks, he got hit on the release.
Tough.
That's tough. Those picks happen all the time. 2, the pick 6 that he had.
Tough.
It was a bad throw. I'm not going to take that away from him. I'm not going to put that away from him.
He got a little lazy, did a little shortstop throw.
The fact that the guy slapped it down off of a lineman's back, who, with me being a lineman, I know he was supposed to throw at that dude's legs to get his hands down, to get that passing window open, which that guy doesn't. And result, that guy gets to slap the ball off his back, which then bounces back into his hands, turns into a touchdown. So that's 2 turnovers already. That's just tough. 1 was forced by arguably one of the greatest defensive players of our time, and Aaron Donald. That's tough. So 3 so far out of the 5 were not his fault, unfortunate, and just a guy who was just flat better than any offensive lineman in the league.
Right. So he gets a pass on 3. The last 2 picks.
The pick they threw at the end of the game can't really give you.
Can't give you a pass there, and the 4th one to Peters.
No, the first.
Oh no, the first fumble. Yeah.
Can't really give you one.
Yeah, that was a little lazy. That was a little bad on the pocket awareness.
Gotta have that mental clock. But like we said last week, if you watched the last video, as much as we like the people we talk about, we gotta keep the bias out. We gotta keep the bias out so that way we're factual and not opinion based.
And then just one more point onto that. And he was telling me throughout the game, like he was like, this guy's been down by double digits twice in the game. He had a strip sack for a touchdown happen against him and a pick 6. But did you see how cool and composed he was on drives after those?
And not only did he have a pick 6, this was his first defensive touchdown allowed against him in his NFL career. And it was happening in the game of the season, arguably game of the decade.
Another 91 team.
A 91 team, which, if y'all watch any of the videos, y'all know this is my team that I'm rocking with. And they're the best team in the NFL in my opinion. And he just, as basically a rookie, because he played, 1 game last year? So, if we're going by Ben Simmons talk, he's basically a rookie. Yeah. And he just balled out.
He literally dropped 50. He literally accounted for 42 of the 51 that they scored. I don't want to hear it from anybody. Okay? He's the MVP. He's up to, he had 31 touchdowns coming in, so he's at 37. Mind you, that was just their 11th game. And that's over 3 touchdowns a game for those not good at math. There are other quarterbacks out there who are in the MVP contention. Drew Brees is the first one that comes to my mind. He's not putting up those numbers. Plus, he's had games with no touchdowns and a game with only 1 touchdown.
Mahomes would never.
If Mahomes had 1 touchdown or 0 touchdowns, they either played the worst team in the league.
Or he broke his arm.
Mahomes
would never. Mahomes, since he went to Tech, has never had a game with less than.
That's all I'm saying. Okay, but enough on that because we're gonna go off and we're gonna go crazy. But just the game, man. Let's talk about the Rams' perspective.
Okay.
Gurley didn't have a great game.
That was my biggest takeaway.
Okay.
Rams put up 54. Gurley didn't have a touchdown.
That's wild.
Gurley had, I think it was under 80 yards rushing.
He definitely didn't hit triple digits.
I don't think he hit 100.
Yeah.
And it was essentially, it showed you just, if you haven't watched a video of me all season, it showed you just how deep this Rams team is. This Rams team minus Cooper Kupp.
Go ahead.
Put up 54 on a 9-1 team. This Rams team is the real deal.
Now,
Shout out Mr. Date Holyfield. And it's...
Now, granted, the Chiefs' defenses are horrible.
They're not good.
Another case for
They're not
Mahomes is
They're not good.
MVP argument, but side note.
I can't name anybody other than Justin Houston.
Justin Houston, D Ford.
D Ford.
Scandrick, I guess.
Marcus Pete.
It's a joke, guys. Calm down.
Stop.
But no, honestly, they dropped 54, and their best offensive weapon didn't score. I think that attributes to how great the Goff-McVay relationship is, and just how important coaching is in a league. Like, yes, there's a league full of talent out there. We all get it, but what separates that talent is how good your coach.
And speaking of good coaching, I have a question.
Okay.
Not even a question, just your thoughts.
Yeah, we're just talking about it. We're just talking about the game.
Last drive there, or before Mahomes had that minute left, McVay called three straight passing plays.
Right.
Was that McVay getting too cute?
I think
because we know McVay is an offensive juggernaut, offensive-minded genius.
Yeah.
Was that him saying like,
"We're gonna win my way"?
Yeah, like He not only did he just want to win, but he wanted to win like where he outsmarted Andy Reid.
Because he was
like he wanted people to look at and be like, oh, that play call there, that play action pass was what set this game apart.
Yeah, it's almost kind of like I don't know. It's kind of like you're on Christmas, right? And you get all these toys, and you want to play with all of them all at once. But at the same time, the toy you got last Christmas is your favorite toy and your best toy. Like, I don't know, that's a bad comparison, but it's kind of like
I feel it.
It's kind of like in basketball, right? There's an easy pass, and then there's a pass that's like, if I make this pass and he makes the shot, like the whole crowd's gonna go crazy. But there's an easy pass.
I got a shooter in the corner, but I can look his way and do a no look,
right?
And hope I can get my guy on that backdoor dunk stuff.
Yeah, it's just something like that. Like he did try and get too cute.
Yeah. And I guess that's where my question ultimately ends up with is he too smart for late game situations?
He definitely.
Because sometimes in late game situations it seems like the simpler play is what wins the game.
Wins.
Like three straight handoffs to arguably the greatest running back of our time, of our era.
Definitely, like in this season.
Sorry, of our time. That's wrong.
Yeah.
Edit that out. Okay, 3 straight handoffs to Todd Gurley. Definitely seemed like the right play there.
For sure.
And he went 2 play action passes and then a screen to the opposite side of the field of Gurley. Didn't even have Gurley in the play.
Right. Yeah, I didn't like it. And he gave Mahomes a chance to come back and possibly tie it or win it. I just sometimes keep the simple things simple. And
no offense to my guy Mahomes. I know we're both advocates. I'm more of Gurley being an MVP. But I think Mahomes is playing the best quarterback-wise this year, so I'm still kind of on. If Mahomes won MVP, I wouldn't be mad. But if McVay gave that type of minute and change left to like a quarterback like Rodgers, like this may be different.
That's true.
This may be a different outcome.
Yeah.
So I think McVay is going to get by on the fact that Mahomes is a young, inexperienced quarterback.
And that's another point I can make for Mahomes. Like, this is his first full season playing, bro. But we're going to get off that. Like, that's my biggest takeaway, I guess, from the whole game is, like, this dude is for real. Kansas City did a great job getting Alex Smith out of there and getting value back for him.
Completely off topic, but prayers up to Alex Smith.
Big prayers.
That is not a very good injury. Yeah. That was Joe Theismann-like.
That was ouch.
But prayers coming from my way to your way, man.
Big facts, man. But, so, we got a 10-1 team Rams. We got a 9-2 Chiefs. I can't remember in the midseason war video. Did you have these two teams meeting up in the Super Bowl?
I did.
After a game like that, man, I would not mind being wrong.
I had the Chiefs over the Pats because the Chiefs would have home field advantage. That's
I would not mind being wrong on my picks if we can get another game like that in the Super Bowl.
Here's something. One of my biggest takeaways. Is Tyreek Hill not the fastest human on the planet? It seems like, these are world class athletes
and he's
running
making them look slow.
And he is fast enough to. If you see that long touchdown catch, he caught it, started jogging because he didn't think anybody was stupid enough to chase after him, and then
LaMarcus Joyner.
When LaMarcus Joyner thought he was fast,
he
took off and then sunned him and said,
"You're my
in his
Nino," like literally.
And then that catch in the fourth quarter. Is Tyreek Hill an underrated receiver?
Tyreek Hill is an underrated receiver because he's running routes now. Like he actually has a route tree. He actually has a slant. He's got the go. He's got the hitch. But now he's running out and ups. You know what I'm saying? Like he's running.
Don't give him.
Don't give him a post corner because that's GG's.
Boy.
But to your Tyreek Hill point. Sometimes he, like we were saying about Sean McVay, he gets like kind of caught up in like, bro, ain't nobody faster than me.
That's very true.
And he had two big mistakes in the game, both on special teams where he excels. He fielded a punt at the 7 earlier in the game, and they got out to probably the 13, and then like with a minute left when they got the ball back, he fielded it at the 1. And they got to the 6, which led to, obviously...
Mahomes having to do too much, which leads to another turnover. So, the last turnover is almost on Tyreek Hill, too.
When you're getting comparisons to people like Aaron Rodgers through 12 games, or 11 games, 11 games in your career, it's not an accident anymore. Like, we have to stop playing with this man's name. But enough about Mahomes, enough about the Chiefs and the Rams. So can we talk about just the individual Jared Goff has become? Because me personally,
it's your turn.
I went to go see him. Shout out my dad. I went to go see him in the Armed Forces Bowl the year before he came out into the draft. So it was at 2015.
Mm-hmm.
I went to go see him against, I want to say it was Navy, and he torched him. But I was like, I don't know how good this guy is because he kind of looks kind of like soft. He kind of looks kind of like uninvested in the game.
For the record, I've been a Jared Goff guy since day one.
Yes.
I've been a Jared Goff guy.
But
I tried to get him to see it, but he wouldn't see it. He wasn't looking.
I see it now.
He wasn't looking.
The rain is gone. I think part of it is McVay, obviously, but he had some throws that you can't coach.
That game-winning touchdown throw was only gone. That's
and for him to identify that there was one-on-one down there at the bottom, because the Chiefs were disguising it. They had 2 high safeties, but at the last second, one of their safeties dropped into the box to play man. So it was one-on-one across the board, and that throw, like you said, it was on a dot. He had another one, I think, to Josh Reynolds, shout out A&M. He had a throw to him that was like, man.
Here's what I want to take away from that game-winning touchdown. I mentioned a second ago, these are world-class athletes. I don't think we have like an understanding of that. Because who caught that game-winning touchdown? Like, can you even say his name off the top of your head?
Something Everett.
Like, he was the, backup tight end or 4th, 5th string wide receiver?
Something.
And he had one-on-one coverage and blew by a starting NFL corner. Like, these NFL athletes are ridiculous. Like, they're just ridiculous humans.
Yeah.
And Tyreek Hill is still 2 levels above that.
Tyreek Hill is laughing at that route. Like,
oh, boy.
Yeah.
These dudes.
Tyreek Hill sees 2 people and he's like, that's it.
Hey.
Go. Run the go. I'm open now. But yeah, man, overall, great game. Historic first NFL game ever with both teams scoring 50. I only know that because I saw it on Twitter. Like I said, this is like 15 minutes after the game, so y'all gotta bear with us on some of these facts. But I know that one's a fact.
High scoring Monday Night Football game ever. It was like 700. There was like 700 Monday Night Football games. This was a high scoring one of all time.
You feel me? like I said,
and the environment was great. Let's
perfect.
talk about how the Rams just really gave like a basically
a show.
like a show for the fire department there in LA with how much they've had to deal with these past couple weeks.
That's what's up.
Shout out to the Rams organization. That's the greatest thing you could have done.
That's what's
Shout out to all the players who wore the LAFD hats pre-game and post-game.
Dope.
That's some of the greatest stuff you could have done. Some of these firefighters, police officers,
Dope.
any of these emergency responders who go unnoticed. We notice you.
We notice you.
We appreciate everything you do for our country. We appreciate everything you do. Even though that's in California, we're in Texas, we still appreciate it.
Facts.
Something that I could never do. I don't have the strength to do it.
Facts.
And apparently you do. And we appreciate y'all guys.
Appreciate
From the bottom of
everything.
our heart, we appreciate that.
100, man. Shout out to the city of LA for taking this game on such short notice. You know what I'm saying?
And Mexico, man, wherever that stadium was, that's really a shame on y'all. Y'all missed out.
Field conditions?
Like, y'all knew look, this is the NFL we're talking about here.
Yeah.
You were letting, I think it was like second-tier soccer games being played there.
Stop.
It rained a lot. Look, the rain, you can't affect that.
Right.
That's okay. We see past that. But you were still letting like soccer matches go on while it was raining on your field, and you knew the NFL was coming this week,
Yeah,
guys.
Stop.
And this, we knew it was going to be the game.
Shout out to the NFL for getting the best of the best officials for this game also. Because there was probably only 3 calls I saw that I was like questionable.
This was definitely, we saw the score. This was not a game that you would want the referees to have any.
You don't want any influence, any control
pull
over
the
this.
referees out of this.
54-51, better team to day one. You know, I still think the best offensive player is in Kansas City right now. With that being said, man, it was an amazing game. I want to see him do it again, bro.
So basically, in conclusion, we're saying just everything tonight was just about as good as it could get.
It was just awesome, man.
Just about as good as it can get.
The only thing that could have made that game a little better was overtime.
Was OT.
Yeah, but that's us being greedy. That's us being greedy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, live reaction to a stellar game. Let us know if y'all want to see anything more like this. You know, we got Thanksgiving games coming up. We're gonna be out for a little bit. You know, sharing time with the loved ones at the dinner table, yada yada yada. But man, what a good way to take a little break, man.
Yeah.
What a good way to take a little break. All right, and then something new that we're gonna go ahead and try and do on this show. Go ahead, man.
We're trying to do more like maybe like a podcast type feel. Maybe not so much of just us reacting to stuff, but more of maybe just an hour long, not even quite an hour long, somewhere in that area. Just y'all give us some topics, man, and we're gonna say just what we feel like, what we feel the answer is, what we feel, what our thoughts and emotions are.
You can go
on
a little bit more in depth.
Yeah, and
with
it's
you guys.
just something that where we can just, instead of having to do any time constraints, trying to keep the video trimmed down so that keep y'all viewers entertained. This is more something where we can just lay everything we feel out.
We can really share how we think the game, how we observe things throughout different leagues. This is probably primarily going to be for basketball.
We won't shy away from your other sports questions, but the more you want more in-depth answers, give us basketball. That's where we're going to get the deepest in.
Big facts.
But we can only go as far as y'all want us to go. So we can't make up topics without y'all giving us some.
Need some shout, man. But you guys feel free to look on either one of our Twitters. I'll probably post a poll in the days coming up.
So any questions you got, man? Anything you want us to touch on, whether it's from trades to game reactions to anything, we've got it covered. We'll look up. We'll do the research on it.
Oh yeah, we got that.
We'll do it for y'all, man. We got this for y'all.
We go to a research institute.
Oh.
But yeah, man, and like I said, primarily it's gonna be NBA stuff. We're not shying away from nothing. But like he said, the more in depth you want to go, you should probably lean towards basketball, primarily the NBA. But yeah, man, anything we can do to expand our game, you know what I'm saying?
Make this more enjoyable for y'all.
We'll do it, man.
We're doing this for y'all. We're really trying to do this for y'all.
Hey, we out here having a good time, man, and it'll really help us because we can see how y'all think also, because most podcasts, they're like, you comment under after listening for 30, 40 minutes, you work out, listen to a podcast. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to kill some time, go watch a podcast or whatever, and just gain some things, learn some things. We can learn a lot from y'all in the comments after y'all watch the podcast.
And we've said a couple of times, fact check us. If there's something that we said that was wrong, let us know.
Get on us.
Because if you don't tell us we're doing wrong, we're not going to know, and we're going to keep going.
And
so let us know.
Mind you, let us know, but
don't be afraid if we
want smoke. We want smoke too.
We're not shying away from nothing.
We want smoke as well.
We're not shying away from nothing.
But yeah, man, we appreciate you guys watching. It is Monday night. Actually, it just turned Tuesday morning. But yeah, man, you guys take it easy. That was our live reaction of the Monday Night Football Chiefs versus Rams game.
Have a great Thanksgiving, guys.
Come on now.
Have a great Thanksgiving.
Y'all go spend some time with your family. Get off the damn phone.
Yeah, man, we want y'all to comment with us, but bro, while y'all on Thursday, keep the phones off, man.
Get off the damn phone. Go get us some turkey.
Enjoy the family, man.
Go get some sweet potato pie and get out of here, man.